Where was I? So I go there, she says, comprehensive. No, I'm thinking, no, I don't need comprehensive. I don't need comprehensive. I need liability, but she says comprehensive, so I call the insurance company and they send me the thing, comprehensive. So I drive all the way back down there. Again, it takes, you know, it's 14 miles to go back down there. We need liability. That's what I thought you were going to say. Last time you told me comprehensive. Don't need that. How do I? Well, you got to bring in your plate. You got to turn in your plate. So I got to drive home. I get the plate. It's weeks later because, oh, then I drive down like 2 days before people normally get off for New Year's, and they've closed the office, so I can't even turn in my plate. So then I got to go to work, and it's 5 weeks, and I go down, and I take the plate in, and she gives me a registration canceled. I got that. Is that it? Yes, that's it. And then 4 weeks later, I get an overdue tax notice in the mail, because in Kentucky, like most states, I have no idea, all states are probably not like that, but in Kentucky, they tax the effing hell out of your vehicle. That's a way to kind of suppress the sale of automobiles in the U.S. is to tax them. Anyway, so I've got this overdue notice, right? So I have to go. So I call him. Oh yeah, you got to pay your tax. And they were down there 3 times, and he didn't. So I go back down. It's St. Patrick's Day, and there's like an Irish bar right there, and they got the street closed off, and there's all these people running around with men with skirts and green hats on, and you know, and bagpipes and everything, and I got to park 3 blocks away to go in there, and they're like, sorry, you got to pay your tax. So all that running around, because this vehicle's valued not very much, because it's broken, it was like $4. Anyway, on to the record finds. Was there something else? I swore there was something else. Could have sworn there was something else. So while I was out to combine trips, I went to a couple places where I looked for records. One I hadn't been to in about three or 4 weeks. I went there, and I went to the St. Vincent de Paul's right next to the record store, which is not good for anybody collecting records to go into a thrift shop that's right next to a record store, you know. But I figured maybe the guy gets tired of going over there. So I went in, and he goes, oh, did you buy this and this? He goes, yeah, he apparently just took a stack over to get rid of. I don't know. So anyway, I got the following records. I've got ghostly sound effects on Power Pack. This very well could be a re-release. There weren't, you know, that many of these put out. And I think many of them were re-released with different covers. But anyway, I hadn't seen this one, so I got ghostly sound effects in stereo. Jerry King and his orchestra play gold records. It was just kind of a neat cover on Diplomat, and it's going to be a budget label. At least there's an artist name on it, I have no idea. Isle of Dreams, instrumental favorites of Hawaii. Joe Maisie and his Chordsmen. Hadn't heard of Joe Maisie. What's on the back? The Moon of Mancora. That's one of my favorites. There you go. On gramophone, it's Desert Song. Okay, this looks like an Allegra cover. This is how Allegra made their covers. They were just slightly smaller than the standard 12-inch. They were usually kind of graphically they were, you know, 2 colors that were silkscreen, you know, like they were solid colors. They were a little bit heavier cardboard, and total budget, but I have no idea what I'm going to hear. The Farsi singers, an orchestra doing Romberg's Desert Song. God knows what that'll be like. And here's a beautiful cover. Richard Heyman, Havana and Hi-Fi. Havana, and Hi-Fi. I have high hopes for this record. It's beautiful. Beautiful cover. It's probably going to be great music. Hollywood. Soundstage. Percussion. Sound. Bob Rosengarten. Phil Krause and orchestra. Percussion and sound. Decca. I have no idea. The Moon Over Man. Moon Over Manicora. On this one too. And Spellbound. Yay! There you go. That could be very, very interesting. Cherry Pink and Apple Blossom White. Cherry Pink and Apple Blossom White. Mambo 5 Dave Pell Orchestra. Tops. A compilation album. This cover was rough, but it's a Liberty record. The stripper with Zentner. I got a couple of his records, but I don't know. It's on Liberty. I have yet to find a Liberty record that I don't like. Phase 4 Stereo, 12-star percussion. International Pop All-Stars, whoever they are. I don't know. I'm just holding it up. Did I need to take time to go look through it? No, I got other things to do, to talk about here. And my favorite, Tony Montola, Command record. String band, strum-along, mandolins, guitars, ukuleles, and banjos. This is going to be a highly curious record, I think. Another gospel record right there by the Good News Quartet. Count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good News Quartet. Probably won't like it. It's going to be male gospel. Living Voices, Living Strings, that was a series of records I'm familiar with. Not familiar with Living Voices, RCA, Candom, their RCA's budget label, 1969. What do they cover on here? Impossible Dream. I thought that'd be a 69 cover of Impossible Dreams could be curious. Anyway, and then we go to another great gospel cover. Here we got these dudes right here. It's the quartet, count 'em. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Making a Bridge. Got kind of a folk artish cover there, and they're out. It's Queen City. It's local. Let's see. Is my favorite song on this one? I didn't even check the other one. Is my favorite song on that one? My favorite song? No. Didn't get lucky today. Couldn't count on that holding up. Anyway, now I wanted to go back to something that I displayed yesterday, that I featured yesterday. As I flip through records and I don't know what's going on, until I listen to it, I don't. Well, I held up this one yesterday. And this turns out to be highly collectible. And it's a niche market that I wasn't fully aware of. Although I had been turned on to a PBS documentary by Chicken George. It sent me a link to it. It's on Hula. I'll put the link below it so you can check that. And a link to, I think it, unless something happens with these other records, I'll blog this one. Or maybe I'll just put a link to the blog where you can go listen to it. That's probably what I might do. And what it is poem songs, okay? It's kind of, it's like 30 or 40 minutes long, the documentary. But it's great. It's about these people. Well, there's these few companies out there that advertise for wannabe songwriters to send in their poems, and they will have their poems made into music and records, okay? So you would pay, of course, you would pay. Basically, these people are soliciting work for themselves, okay? And you pay them, they take your music and they write. You know, they put it to music. Then there's there's all different ways it's been done, but it could be just like one guy, or it could be a guy that would hire like a vocalist and a pianist and a drummer, you know, like different kinds of instruments. Anyway, and so they would knock this stuff through the system as fast as they could. So the music is really weird. So there's a whole group of there's a whole niche market or niche market of collectible, a whole collectible market for these song poem records. And I didn't put 2 and 2 together until I found this today. But this is if you watch the documentary, this guy, he's got quite a large part to play in it as a vocalist on many of these records. They made many titles, but there wasn't any distribution. And I think basically what happened is there were low press run, and the records would be sent out to the people that submitted their poems. Like on this one, there's 18 songs, so 18 different people paid, maybe like $80, $100. I don't know what the going price was at the time. So they had to pay the musicians, and then in the studio time, and they had to knock them out as fast as possible. They had to pay to have the thing pressed and all that. So there are not very many of them around. Of course, most of them were thrown out. But this is really wonderful. It's Manic Mark's new favorite thing. Song poems. So there you go. Thanks for stopping by, and